afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to our annual presentation at Triad, Georgetown. And this afternoon we're going to also have a presentation of car fit. This is a new concept, and I'm going to introduce John Russell, who will take the floor from here. Thank you.
Hello. One thing about car fit, it's one of the programs that's been introduced by the Triad program. Triad program has a lot of different programs for the senior citizens. And one thing about the Triad programs, they're all simple, they're all free, and they're all really beneficial to the seniors in all the different communities. A year ago in July, we had a large training where we trained a lot of people in this car fit program. Officer Anderson is one of the people that, Officer Anderson, if you would, got trained in the program. What we want to do is, I believe it's October 17th, we're going to offer you to bring your cars in, and we're going to help you fit your cars to yourself. One of the things that people get real nervous about as they get older is people ask them to give up their license. Well, we're not just asking people to give up their license, we're asking them to give up their independence. So this is a program that isn't asking you to give up your license. This is a program that identified a need of seniors, and what happens as we get older fitting into our cars. We're all technicians in that now. We can also do events. Officer Anderson goes over to Rowley and helps them out. I'm sure he's going to get Officer Hill over here to help out when we do the program here. You know, when you look at it, 1 out of 5 Americans by 2030 are going to be over the age of 65 driving. That's 65 million senior drivers on the road. One of the things that happens as we get older, we run into the things where we have less flexibility. So we can't turn as well. So what happens is we have to we need our mirrors more and more. We rely on the mirrors so that we don't have to turn our neck. The old way of setting up the mirrors really is not beneficial. So this is just a little bit of a different concept that people aren't used to. One of the other things we want to make sure is you see a lot of senior drivers and they're driving like this and they can't even see the front of the thing. They're just out through the looking out through the steering wheel. This is a great program in a town like this. Officer Anderson, Chief Cudmore have realized, you know, this is a great tool for them to be able to talk to the seniors about their driving. It's a great first communication. And again, this is nothing to take your license. This is to help you keep your license. There's a lot of horror stories in the newspaper. You'll see in the newspaper, senior driver drives into a pool. Senior driver drives the wrong way down a highway, serious injuries, really far and few between. You know, you have the issue where, you know, most senior drivers self-regulate. If you have trouble driving at night, they don't drive at night. So, I mean, most will self-regulate. This program is also educational as far as setting you up from your steering wheel. And what happens is your airbag and your seatbelt work in conjunction. The airbag deploys at, I believe, Officer Anderson, about 140 miles an hour?
Yeah.
It's coming at 140 miles an hour. If you don't have your seatbelt on or it's not working properly, you're meeting that airbag, and it's going to do some serious damage to your face and upper body.
Or if you sit too close to it, you're not adjusted.
And I'm sure Officer Anderson's seen many accidents where people weren't in their cars properly, and you get some serious damage. Even if everything's right, the airbag could, you know, you could break your nose. It's meant to minimize your injuries. So we want to make sure the airbag is facing the right way, toward your chest, not toward your face. We want to make sure you're up a little bit over the steering wheel so that it's coming toward your chest. We want to make sure you're wearing your seatbelt properly so everything works in conjunction with the other. Some of the other things is people don't know how to adjust their seats. And one of the things with the seat adjustments, some of them you can adjust, some people don't realize you can adjust some of the seats. We need to get you up a little bit. If you cannot, you can't get your seat adjusted, we have different things. We have some cushions. This particular cushion not only will get you up, but if you're having a little mobility issue, it swivels. So it helps you get you in and out of the car. It gets you up a little bit higher, but it also helps you get in and out of your car, because again, as we get older, it's a little bit more difficult to get in and out of our vehicles. So this is huge. One of the other things that we have, this is called the handy bar. And this handy bar will actually fit in your door frame. And when you go to get in and out of your car, you can hold on to your wheel, you can hold on to the door. This fits in, and you've got 2 ways to push yourself up. Also, safety tool, if you get stuck, you can break your glass or cut your seatbelt. I've talked to a lot of seniors who won't wear their seatbelts because they're afraid if they get in an accident, they're gonna end up in some trouble and they're not gonna be able to get out of their seatbelt. Well, this will give them a little peace of mind, as well as the fact that, and I hear this from the police officers all the time who respond to these accidents. You very, very seldom will find anybody that's been stuck in their car seats. Maybe the old car seats, maybe back in the day,
Yeah, but not now.
but not now. And it's one of the things that a lot of the seniors, the seat belts aren't put on right, so it cuts across their neck because they're too low. So we want to make it a little bit more comfortable for them. This is something, if you can't reach a seat belt, this just hooks right on your seat belt and it stays there. So you can grab this, pull it across the body, and plug it in. So again, pretty simple, pretty inexpensive. Arthritis in the hand, another problem. This is a little thing you can put your car key in. And when you put your car key in this, you get to use your whole hand to turn the, again, real simple, but a lot of people have issues with this. So this is something we want to take a look at. We want to make things more comfortable for you and safer in the long run. As we adjust your mirrors and we see things, people can't turn their heads as much. We have this larger mirror. This just hooks right on to your rear view mirror. Costs nothing to put it on. It's one of the more expensive things. It's about $20. But look at the full view you get from this. If you're using this from your rear view mirror, you get the full view. You can see the whole thing. And this will take you right to your side mirrors. So that's our key. That's our goal, is to get you from one continuous mirror. When you lose the car in your rear view mirror over here, it should just be coming into view in your side mirror. So that's one of the things that we want to set up. There are many other different things, that we're going to look at. And we go over a 12-point checklist with you. It takes about 15 minutes for each car. Again, trained technicians, trained professionals here to help you fit into your car. Some of the things we want to make, we're going to have you walk around your car. A couple of reasons. One is, if you got a lot of scratches, are you having problems with the mirror? We want to see if you can get in and out of your vehicle for one reason only, just to make sure. We can make some recommendations to help you get in and out of your vehicle. So that's the only reason we're going to get you in and out of your car. The other thing is we don't report this to anybody. I always say, and maybe the chief and Officer Anderson might have a different thing, but if you come into CarFit, as long as you don't run me over, I'm not writing you up. I'm not putting it, and I think they have the same attitude. This is something to help you drive safer, drive in longer, and more comfortable as well. I know there are classes here, exercise classes. If you're having trouble with mobility, jump into some of these classes. Move your body, get your neck moving. We want to make sure that you are wearing your seat belts. We want to make sure that you're positioned in the right position for your pedals. I mean, we have the thing where if you're too far away, your legs are going to get fatigued as you're driving. If you're too close, you can catch your foot on the back of the brake as you're pulling it off. This is where people panic and will mash down on the gas and get themselves into trouble.
I'll add to the, good afternoon, Chief Cudmore from the PD. Just to add to the concern relative to law enforcement's role here, we're thankful for the collaborative with Sheriff Cousins and the Essex County Sheriff's Department. And our role is to work alongside the agency with Triad so that we can provide a public safety service. It's not a law enforcement initiative in any way, shape, or form. It's to provide recommendations for folks who may or may not be experiencing issues, and just to educate on how to better fit themselves to operate their vehicle. I think in attending the event, everybody will gain some type of insight and knowledge about the vehicle they're driving, and with the training from the technicians, Officer Anderson attended the training and is certified, as well as the Sheriff's Department. And I think that law enforcement is not in our minds with regard to the event. It's to train people, it's to show that there may be a better way to do things. So I just wanted to elaborate on that.
Thanks, Chief. And I just want to finish up by saying that, you know, the Triad group here it's important not just here, but in all communities. And the Triad group is a collaborative. It's, you know, the Sheriff's Department, the DA's office, but the key people here are your local people, the local law enforcement, the local senior centers, the fire department. And I think it's important to realize that Chief Cudmore's been coming to these meetings since he was a lieutenant. And he's vested in these meetings. We have trouble sometimes getting people to come to meetings, but the chief is either at every meeting or he sends somebody. And it's nice to see in a small community the interaction with the chief, with the seniors themselves. So the Triad program's a great program. We meet once a month. We do encourage people to come and join the group. Come and join us. I mean, it's an hour once a month. We have a few laughs, we get a few things done, and we take the summer off. So with that, I want to thank everybody and just remind you that October 17th is the date that we're looking for. We have canines coming in, so we're going to continue with the program. But again, Officer Anderson, Chief Cudmore, thank you. I just want to repeat the dates for the event. It's going to be October 17th. It's going to be held at Trestle Way. It's going to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a Thursday.
Yes.
And for more information and to sign up in advance and get a time slated for yourself, you can call Colleen.
At the Council on Aging office, and the telephone number is 978-352-5726.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce Lieutenant Joanne Karen of the K-9 unit, and she'll make some comments at this point.
Hey everybody, again. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our program. We have 17 dogs at the jail, and most of them are dual-purpose dogs. And when I say dual-purpose, that means they're trained in a couple different things. I happen to have 2 dogs out there. One is a chocolate lab, and he's a single-purpose dog, and all he does is sniff out narcotics. That's all he does. He doesn't bite people. He doesn't go after anybody. He doesn't track. Then I have another dog out there that's a Belgian Malinois, and he's a dual-purpose dog. He is a patrol dog, which means he can track and find people. And he's also what we consider a gun dog. He can find anything with black powder. So I'm going to demonstrate. I'll put a little demonstration out on the chocolate lab that I have. His name is Buddy. And a little bit about before I go get him, a little bit about what we use him at the jail. We have a lot of inmates at the jail, a lot. We probably house about 1,200 inmates. That's a lot of guys to watch, it really is. And the dog's main purpose there is just to maintain order. If there's a fight, we run to the fight with the dog, and usually when an inmate sees a dog, they just give up. And that makes life very easy for us when they stop fighting. Okay, you have anything to say about the jail?
I just want to, reiterate what Lieutenant Karen said, that, when you work in the jail and you walk into a block with quite a few inmates out and not in good moods, and you can walk in with a half a dozen officers come running in, they're not moving. Lieutenant Karen comes in with 1 canine, everybody's on the floor. I mean, it's one of the only facilities in the country that has working dogs.
In the state, I believe.
In the state,
Yep.
that has working dogs inside the facility. All well-trained, all dual-purpose, all available to the communities in case of lost people, because we have trackers for lost people, Alzheimer's, kids.
Yep.
You
If somebody breaks into somebody's house, we can track on that. And they're also trained in articles. So if somebody broke into, and I'll just use this for example, somebody broke into your house and say they used a screwdriver. They broke into it, and then everybody shows up, the cops show up, and the canine shows up. They take off out the window or out the back door, and they throw that screwdriver. Our dogs are trained to, if there's any fresh odor out there, the dog's trained to find it. And that screwdriver, if my dog finds that screwdriver, that can be used as evidence in court with his DNA on it. So evidence recovery is very, very, very important. Okay, I'll go get him and we'll start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him in. I'll introduce him to everybody, but first I'm going to bring some drugs in so I can hide them, because he has to find them. There's all sorts of odors. We'll try this again. Marijuana, coke, hash, heroin, ecstasy, oxycodone, crystal meth. So there's a whole list of stuff that they can sniff out. if they
About
train
Molly?
them. Pardon?
Molly.
Molly, no. Not Molly. Not unless there's something in it, like a derivative of heroin or cocaine, just like prescription drugs, they can sniff that out. So yes, if there's that in there, I'm not sure what the components are of Molly. I'm not, that's something that's new, that's just coming out, so I haven't really picked up on it just yet. But if there's anything in there like that, they would pick up on it, yes. Especially if there's a whole quantity of it, like oxys. It's a derivative of heroin, so they pick up on it, especially if you get a whole bottle. It's a good odor for the dog. Okay? Smell everything that's in here, and then I'll hook them up to the leash, and I'll start detailing using my hand. I'll tell them, I'll go, all right, say hi. All right, come on, buddy. I'll tell him to check, and then he starts checking, see? Starts checking, see?
So is he supposed to be looking for
So
something?
what I'm gonna do is, he's got two collars on here. This flat collar, once I put him on this, he knows he's working. So if he holds still, I might be able to get it
Oh,
on.
you can tell him to change it.
He's so excited. Yes, you are so excited, aren't you? Yes, you are. Hold still.
At least he's people friendly, that's one thing, you know? At least he's people friendly.
Oh, yes. Check it. Here, check up here. Thank you. Here, check here. Check this. Check this. Here, check this. Yeah, that wasn't a good check. Oh, boy. Yeah. You listen, you can hear him sniffing. Here, check over here. Now, if he misses something, do you know whose fault it is?
Yours.
Exactly. It's my fault. Because I didn't go, they're not robots. If I don't check out an area good with my hand, and there was something there, say I just got a big sniff and blew it out, he's smelling everything. But if I don't go to this corner and there was something there, he's not gonna get it. Why? He's on leash, first of all, and I'm not bringing him over there. So yeah, 9 times out of 10 when they miss something, it's not the dog's fault, it's the handler's fault. Come here, check over here. Check all this. Check up here. What about this thing? Hey, what about this? Oh, nice check. Nice. Very good. Very good. There you go.
So,
Ah, yay!
Show me. Oh, that's where it is. Show me again. Oh, okay. So he points to it, and that's all in training. And what I do is, he's on food reward. Yes, it's coming. Sit down. Sit. He's on food reward, and I try to reward him right where the drugs are. So if the drugs are high, what I try to do is give it to him up here. Drugs are low, I give it to him down here. So he's getting his reward right where the odor is all the time.
That's pretty good.
Show me. See? Come here. Show me. Show me. Show. Oh, good. Very good. Because that's where his food's going to be, right here. So he goes back to that area. Okay. He's a slob. What a good boy. All right. Now we're going to continue checking. Can I get just a few people out here, and I'm going to continue checking the barrel and that thing, and I'll have him run through you guys. He doesn't bite. Just kind of mingle up there. Okay, check here. Check up here. Okay. No, that's good. It's not over there. Check the barrel. Nice. Okay, see? Now I'm giving him a command just to search.
Busted!
Can you show me? Show me. Oh, that's where it is? right where the source of the odor coming out. Just like that. Good boy. Show me again.
Is that all?
Show me again. There it is. There's a nose snap. And I bring it right back. And I reward him where the odor is. Okay, nice slobbiness. What a good boy. Yeah. So that's what he does.
You're a good boy.
Yeah, see now he doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants more food. See? Yes.
Con artist.
I know, but that's it. I know. Oh, you got a point again, huh? All right, one more time. Show me. Show. Oh, good boy. All right, a little bit more. All right. Very good.
Yep.
Very good. All right. All right, sit. Sit. Are we done? Here. Sit. There you go. We're done. Okay, we're done. Good boy. So that's his job.
That was great.
He doesn't bite. He looks around. He's a happy dog. He's not too serious. Whereas my other dog, I'll be bringing in, he's a very serious dog. He's all business. All business. And you'll see by the way he presents himself when he walks in here. You'll see that he's all business.
Question.
I've got
Question.
Oh.
So he had the drugs in his pocket. Now it's not in his pocket. Is the smell still in his pocket?
Oh yeah.
So he'll go and find him?
Yeah.
Wash your clothes.
Oh yeah, it's still
I'll
there.
stay out of the airport.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they're still there.
Wow.
Do they ever have female dogs?
There are female dogs. We don't have any, but they work great. We just don't have any, but they do work great. And I'll give you an example of what you're just talking about. I went to a school one time with my German Shepherd, who was trained in drugs. And what we do is we break up, we take the classroom, we tell all the kids to come out, and they have to leave all their backpacks in the room. And then we check all the backpacks with the dog. So my dog is checking all the backpacks, and he comes to a chair, just a regular wooden chair, nothing there. I can see there's nothing there. And he's looking at me like there's something here. And I'm like, he's giving me an indication. And at that time, his indication was to put his paw up and to scratch, like telling me it's right here. And I can see there's nothing there. So I said to the administrator, I says, let's find out who was sitting there. So they found out who was sitting there. They called him in his back pocket was some marijuana.
I'll be darned.
So
The odor was still there.
the order was still there. So that's perfect. And that was on a wooden chair,
Wow.
not even clothing.
The
So,
odor absorbed that.
yeah. Okay, let me bring in the other guy.
I'll grab this out of here.
Thank you. He's already keying in. Unfortunately, he's keying in on you. Sorry.
Don't run. Don't run.
We just got back to work because I was out with a shoulder injury, and he is very, very wound up. This is a. Does anybody know what breed this is? I know I had mentioned it. I don't know if you remember. Belgian Malinois. Yep. A little difference between. He kind of looks like a shepherd, but he's not a shepherd. And the big difference between the Mallies, we call them Mallee for short, is they're very high strung, as you can see. He's. Can anybody guess his age? 2?
37.
Say about 5 or 6.
He's 8.
I was gonna say 8, and I dropped it.
Yeah, you can't tell because he's just like, okay, and that's the way he is. He was like this from day one, and he'll probably be like this till he's like, if he makes it to 15. They're just very wound up. Who's doing that?
Me.
Oh, that's something you don't want to do. All right, so, I'm going to try to break his focus a little bit, and we're going to search for that black powder that's over there. But he really wants a bite, but he's not going to get one. Just let you know. Michael? Now here I have this collar, and when he puts this collar on, that means a search. This collar right here. And I don't attach it with the leash, I just slip it on over his head. Go. See? Yeah. Check. Good check. Nice. Yeah. No, never mind, he's still there. Come on. Check out here. He's absolutely beautiful. See, he's really, really checking here. Never mind him. Come on, come on. And I have a towel up here. This is going to be his reward. Really? Hold on. Now, he's so wound up, he's supposed to sit, but he just likes to scratch. Come on, search.
He just wants you.
I know.
Zeke, come on, Zeke. Good boy, come on, Zeke. Oh yeah, you know what's in there. Come on, check, come on. Give me a sit. 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 Good, sit. Is that where it is? Good boy. He doesn't get his reward till he sits. Like I said, he's very, very wound up. Oh, yeah, good boy. Oh, yeah, take my arm off. Here we go. Here we go. Let's work the other shoulder. Oh, good boy. Very strong.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's very strong. Good boy, yes. I'm so glad we have slippery floors. It makes it so much easier. Very good. Good boy. Good boy. Out! Oh, is he still there? Yeah, he's still there. Sit. Sit. Focus, focus. Hey, focus. Hey. Leave it. Here. Good boy. Very high-strung breed right here. He wants one thing.
He wants him.
And only one thing. All right, relax.
He doesn't focus on your gun?
Huh?
Your gun's okay?
No, because we train with it all the time. I train with this all the time on me. So he's used to it. Nice, good boy. He's just, you have to excuse him. He's been out for 8 months. I was out for 8 months, so.
We've had this long absence. Obviously, you know, you had to be well enough to be handling him again.
Right.
Let's just say he got off.
He got off.
Would he respond to the leash? Like if for some reason he just pulled, you're still injured, what have you, would your voice commands work?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Sit! Sit! Off! Good boy. Life! I just told him to stay. You're not nervous, are you? Life. Yeah, we do teach recalls and all that. Good boy. Very good boy. Lots of rewarding these guys. Lots of rewarding. Good boy, yeah.
Joanne, these dogs love to work, don't they? They get all fired up when you're ready to go to work.
Oh my God, yes. You could literally cut off one of these legs and they still want to work. Okay. My last dog, I've had 5 dogs, and my last dog was at the jail. That was his last day. It was actually he had cancer, and which was very unfortunate. He was only 9 years old, and it was a question of leaving him home while I was at work, and that would have killed him right there because he loved to work. So I just took him to work every day. And then one day, we watched the lunch lines. When the inmates eat, we have a lot of inmates in the chow hall. And when they, so we're out there with the dogs in case there's a problem, because we have like 120 guys in one area. So in case there's a problem, we're out there with the dogs. So I had my dog, remember Ingo?
Yep.
And the inmates are walking by, and it's funny because these dogs learn the difference between the inmates and the officers. And like this guy, he will not let an inmate get within 15 feet of me, and neither did my last dog or my other dogs. Yeah, it's amazing. So we were sitting there, an inmate came walking by, he was a little too close, and Ingo just jumped right up to try to grab him. I was like, wow, because I knew he had cancer. I knew he was sick. I went, wow, good boy. I patted him, what a good boy. And then I went to have my lunch, and I had an apple, and whenever I took an apple in with me, I always gave him a piece of it. So I put it down to the office, and I took a bite, gave him a piece of it, and I walked out of the office, And I went back in about 10 minutes, and that apple piece was still sitting there. That's when I knew it was time. Of course, I started crying. And I came out to one of the canine officers. I says, it's time. And he was looking at me like, time for what? I says, it's time for Engel. And it took us about 20 minutes to get him out of the jail. He was walking so slow. So, they work and they're covering your back 24/7 to the end of their time, to the very end, no matter how sick they are. They love to work that much. And that's their job. It's amazing. Any questions?
Can you tell them what happens when the dogs retire?
When the dogs retire, we get to buy them. The state does own them, but we get to buy them for $1 because, like, this guy's been with me for 8 years. So when it comes time for them to retire, just for a business transaction, we buy them for $1 and we take them home. That's what we do. So and even when you take them home, when you get a new dog, you can't ignore this dog because being home, they don't understand that they're old. They do not understand. But for safety reasons, you have to retire them because their eyesight starts to go, the hearing starts to go. And if he's like 10 or 11 years old and his eyesight's going and his hearing's going, and I get called to go out to the woods to look for somebody that might have a weapon, that's not safe for him, and it's not safe for me. That's the bottom line. Okay? So you have to retire them. But what the handler can do is once they retire, they can do something else with the dog. Like, he's a dual-purpose dog. I could easily do some of this where he's not going to be in harm's way. I could do it on my own. I could go over to somebody's house, put some stuff in the garage, and keep him busy. I can take him for one of my dogs. I used to have to put him in the cruiser, take him for a ride around the block, and that's all. He was happy as anything. I'd come home, take one out, put him in, go for a ride around the block, and he'd be, oh, this is great. Just something you have to do with him. Otherwise, the stress will kill him not doing anything.
And they get jealous that you're taking the new dog in the cruiser and they're staying back.
Right, they don't understand.
But I think the point is the bond between the handler and the dog is so much that everybody takes their retired dogs. And they are a lot of work to take, but they take them anyway because the bond is there.
Yeah, I would never get, can I just tell you, anybody that gives up their dog, in my eyes, shouldn't be a canine handler. And we've had a couple. But anybody that does that should not be a handler. And that's only in my eyes. But, okay, buddy, you ready? Oh, his name's Marco, by the way.
Do you ever have female dogs?
There are departments that have female dogs. We don't have any because we have all males. A female dog you really don't want to fix.
No.
So if she went into heat, none of these guys would work. Nope, they wouldn't work.
Tough situation.
Yeah, so because we started with all male, but there are departments that have like one dog or two dogs and they're females. They are fantastic workers, really, really good workers.
Well, all women are.
Yes, that's right. Any other questions?
So the dogs are not neutered then? The males too are not?
They're not neutered unless there's a health issue. When they're 6, 7, he's almost ready. It's actually healthier for them to be neutered at a certain age, but it's a hard thing to promote at my place because it actually preserves their life a little bit more, so they don't get cancer.
Right.
And at 6 or 7, even 8, they're not going to change their ways. They're not going to get lazy. They're not. But it's just, I work at a male, not for nothing, but male prison, and they don't want to have them fixed. And I don't know why, because it really is very healthy for them. But if there's an issue, like one of my dogs did get fixed because he had a little issue down there, so they
I
fixed
feel like
him.
he's staring at me.
And that was Axel, and he lived till he
Yeah,
was
this is staring
14.
at
me. I know.
14.
So how long, when do you typically have to retire then?
It depends on, like I said, it depends on them. It depends on their health,
Yeah.
their eyesight, their ears. It really depends on them.
And so they're with you right from puppyhood then?
No, we get most of our dogs from Europe, and there are great dogs around here too. But over in Europe, they're all working breeds over there. So you kind of know exactly what you're getting. Because what you don't want is to get a donated dog and start and go through an academy. Because now they have to cover your shift at the jail. It's 16 weeks in the academy with the dog. So what you don't want to happen is get through half the academy, and then all of a sudden they start firing off rounds, and the dog goes this way.
Right.
So the dogs over in Europe, we know exactly what we're getting. They've already been tested and everything. And
So they're
yeah.
trained
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah. But there are departments that have donated dogs that I have seen that are absolutely fantastic. But they just have to be tested and trained the proper way, and they'd be fine. Like look at Buddy's not a patrol dog, but he makes a great drug dog.
Yeah.
And he was from the rescue league.
In terms of the retirement, you said it depends upon the animal and how they do and like how their health is and everything like that.
Yeah.
Is there a point where you think, okay, even though they're still doing really well, that there is kind of a cutoff? Is it like, okay, about
Yeah.
10 or so, like that's, even if they're still doing well, there's a point that you just have them retire or?
Yeah, well, it's not going to come to that. It's going to come to they're getting a little lame. They're a little bit slower getting up. They can't jump far. So it's up to the handler has to recognize, as much as you love your dog and you want to take them to work, the handler has to recognize the safety for the dog. And these dogs aren't like regular cruiser dogs either, because we work in a jail. So when I'm inside all day with this dog on asphalt. It's very tough on their legs, whereas a cruiser dog sits in the car. We're walking around all day. He's walking around, he lays down. I go over here to talk to somebody, he's up, then he lays down. I go over here to talk to somebody, he's up, he lays down. He probably gets up and down like 1,000 times a day. Not like a cruiser dog. And so the wear and tear on these guys are much, much more.
How do they transition home? How are they transitioning back into your house and when they're not working? Or,
Most of the dogs are very social anyways. He's looking at the guy at the door. He probably sees a shadow.
I feel like he's looking at me.
Yeah, no, he's looking right past you. There's a guy working on the door over there, so he's just kind of watching him. This guy doesn't miss a trick. No, he doesn't. He doesn't miss nothing. What was the question? I'm sorry.
we were just talking about when you transition home, you said they're social and
Yeah.
keeping them busy.
No problem at all. Yeah. I started doing that at an early age myself. In case something happens to me, like my shoulder, I had an operation on my shoulder. I couldn't do anything for a little while, so my family took care of the dog. So there's never, if you prepare for these things, there's never an issue.
What's a cruiser dog?
Pardon?
What's a cruiser dog? You mentioned.
Cruiser?
Yeah, the kind that sits in the police car all day. Cruiser.
Oh, a canine that's for regular towns and cities that have dogs. They keep them in the back of the car until a call comes, and then they take them out.
What are they used for?
They're used for the same things we use them for. They're used for tracking. If somebody breaks into your house, lost children, a building search. They're used for drugs. All that stuff. Same thing as we use our dogs for. But the difference between that dog is that he's in the car all day and he sits until a call comes out. Then he's taken out to do the call. Okay, the handler will probably take him out, work him out a little bit. But other than that, he's not walking around all day. That's the difference between these guys and a regular cruiser dog. He's not. Well, the cruiser dog's not walking around all day. These guys are on their feet all day, all day. From the minute we walk into the jail, he is walking around with me all day on asphalt. So that's a lot of wear and tear, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Lieutenant. I'd shake your hand, but I'm not going near the door.
I'm gonna put him up, and I'll come back and grab my stuff. Okay, you ready?
Thank you.
Yep. All right, let's go.
Oh my God, I can breathe that.
I want to thank you all for attending, and now we're going to have some refreshments.
I figured I was out of sight.